Hey guys, so today I have my very first video after we have the results of the 2018 midterms, and I'm going to start off, I'm going to do a lot of videos, but today about the midterm elections and analysing the results, where the polling went wrong, where my predictions went wrong, and many other factors. But today we're just going to be looking at the results in the Senate. Then we'll go over and look at the results in the governor and House maps. So, pretty much a good night for Republicans in the Senate. They picked up North Dakota with Heitkamp, Missouri with McCaskill, and Donnelly with in Indiana with Donnelly. They picked up those three states. In addition, they were able to pick off Florida. Officially, some networks haven't called it, but it looks like Rick Scott will be elected. In Mississippi, that one's going to a runoff between Cindy Hyde-Smith and Mike Espy. However, at the end of the day, I believe this will go to the Republicans. However, the one bright spot for Democrats was in the state of Nevada, where Jackie Rosen was able to beat Dean Heller by quite a significant margin. But overall, a bad night for Democrats in the Senate. They lost their incumbents in Indiana, Missouri, North Dakota, and Florida. In addition, they lost Texas and Tennessee, where they were looking for pickups. Now, Arizona, they haven't called it yet. The Kristen Sinema and Martha McSally are battling it out. Sinema is down 1 point. The areas with still votes to be counted are in Pima County, with 4 more precincts left to report. Kristen Sinema has a 13-point lead in Pima County, and the other 2 counties where there's a lot of votes left, in Yuma County, there's 1 precinct not reporting. Martha McSally could add about 500 votes to her total in Yuma County, and then in Pinole County, Martha McSally, there's still 1 precinct not reporting. Martha McSally again could add 500 to 1,000 votes in Pinole County, but the main one, which has Tucson in it, Sinema racking up a 13-point lead. So at the end of the day, the outstanding vote is probably going to go to Kristen Sinema. So now the question is, can she make up that margin of 1 point? And I think it's going to be a bit of a hard task. She needs to make up a deficit of 17,000 votes. She is leading here with 4 more precincts left to report. There's probably about 1% of the vote or 2% of the vote not reporting. So there is a way that she could make it up, but at the moment I would give the lean over towards Martha McSally in holding that one, which means the Republicans picked up a net of 3 seats. That's phenomenal, honestly. North Dakota cancels out Indiana, and then they pick up Indiana, Missouri, and Florida. Great news for the Republicans in the United States Senate. I just wanted to touch on the 2019 Senate, and also I'll be making a 2020 prediction when 270 to win opens the map for a 2020 Senate prediction. Right now they don't have a 2020 Senate map, but anyway, that's the final result. In the governor's map, sorry if I can go into the governor election results. There we go. So there are 2 states that officially haven't been called, but at the moment I think I'm going to call Connecticut for the Democrats in the governor. Sorry, that's not the one where we want the state results in the state of Connecticut. Where's the governor gone? House, here we go. Ned Lamont. It's been called by New York Times, not called by 270 to win. But we just got all the results in from the city there in Hartford. and then also in Bridgeport and New London, which all racked up significant wins for Ned Lamont. Closer than expected. I had this in a likely column. It's probably closer to leaning or tilt. So at the end of the day, I see Connecticut going to the Democrats, making it 23-26. Georgia, if it goes to a runoff, I see Brian Kemp winning. As much as many people would like Stacey Abrams to win, I still think that without that libertarian splitting some of the vote, it's not great. I think that Democrats could have done a bit better in some of the governor races. I expected them to win Ohio, Iowa. I had it as a pure toss-up, but I would have given the slight edge over towards the Democrats. No, but the Republican won there, Ohio and Iowa, and then of course Florida Democrats heartbroken over that one. If we go into the state of Maryland, this was supposed to go to the Democrats, not the state of Delaware, the state of Maryland. I don't know why. There we go. Governor Larry Hogan was re-elected by 14 points. I didn't expect him to win by 14 points. I thought he would win by about 10 points. If we look at Maryland, the polling had underestimated Ben Jealous. However, as you could see, the RCP average had Hogan up 18.7 and he won by 13.4, so definitely underestimated Jealous in that one. The polling was pretty accurate, I must say, in the state of Georgia. Most of the polls showed Kemp leading by 1 or 2. He won by a little bit more than that, but still pretty good for them there. If we go ahead and look at the gains, Bruce Rauner lost. That's pretty much expected. I'll tell you what wasn't expected in the state of Kansas. I thought it would be close, but I thought that they would elect Chris Kobach, not Laura Kelly, so good news. I would say overall pretty good news for the Democrats, but it could have been better. If we go into the House now, we finished with the Senate and governors, so now let's go into the House. I'll analyze the polling versus the final results in separate videos, as well as my prediction versus the final results in separate videos again. Democrats got 220 compared to the Republicans 198. There are still some that are remaining to be called. The state of Maine and the Texas 23rd District, Jenny Herrera Butler's seat hasn't been called. There's a few things. I'm actually really surprised that they haven't called me a love seat yet. In Illinois, that one hasn't been called, but there are a few things. Here we go. A lot of Democratic wins in the competitive seats, House seats, changing parties. The Republicans actually gained in 2 districts in Minnesota, which is actually quite impressive, but all the others, that one, that's right, because, that makes sense. Dave Bratt actually lost his seat there in the 7th, in Abigail Spanberger, and I still think that it is that phenomenal closing debate performance of Spanberger that won her the seat over. Now, debates often don't shift that much, but I thought that was it. I believe that the 3rd district hasn't been called between Andy Kim and Tom MacArthur. New Jersey, 3rd district. The polling average had it really tight between Tom MacArthur and Andy Kim. At the end of the day, I do believe that Tom MacArthur was able to win that race very narrowly. But overall, pretty good news for the Democrats in the House. Before the election, I made a video analyzing would this be a blue tsunami, blue wave, blue ripple, or red ripple. And I think it really depends on what you're looking at. In the House, there was a blue wave. There is no doubt about that. Democrats picked up seats, again, like Abigail Spanberger's district. They picked up 2 districts out of 4 in Iowa. Very impressive there. They picked up Mia Love's seat, many districts in California. They picked up Carlos Cuervo's seat in Florida. In fact, it looks like Lucy McBath will go on and win in Georgia, but in Oklahoma, Kendra Horn Steve Russell goes down. The same thing with Katie Arrington. Very impressive wins in South Carolina and Oklahoma. But I would say there is a blue wave in the House, and it's going to make life a lot harder for President Trump. But in the Senate, I think there was a red ripple, to be totally honest. Look, in the Senate results, again, Arizona hasn't been called, but they picked up North Dakota, Indiana, Missouri, Florida. The only bright spot for Democrats, sorry about that, was the state of Nevada, where Jackie Rosen was able to win. But overall, amazing results for Republicans in the Senate. And not just amazing results. In Indiana, the final result, you need to see how off the polling was in this race. Final result was Mike Braun winning by 9 points. Very impressive, especially considering the polling had been neck and neck in the state of Indiana. If anything, giving Joe Donnelly the small edge. The average polls between Mike Braun and Joe Donnelly. Donnelly leads by 1.3, Braun wins by 8.4 in the final result. You can see that in the average polling there were a lot of undecided voters. Average poll had Donnelly with 44.3% of the vote, 43.0% of the vote with Mike Braun. But then he went on. Joe Donnelly pretty much did expected on his column, but then Mike Braun vastly just threw the polls out by the amount of victory he had in the state of Indiana. Great news for Republicans in Indiana. Also in Missouri, Claire McCaskill goes down. Same thing with Heidi Heitkamp in North Dakota. Bill Nelson in Florida. Beto O'Rourke in Texas. Phil Bredesen in the state of Tennessee. And Jackie Rosen winning in Nevada. Pretty much the only good news for Democrats coming out of the Senate. So I would say a red ripple in the Senate there. Now let's go over the House results. Sorry, that's my House prediction, not the House results. Sorry, we already just covered the results. Governor election results. I would say that there was a blue ripple in the governor's map. Democrats, they could have performed better. They could have. They definitely could have. They could have won in Florida. They could have won in Georgia, Ohio, Iowa. And those were the main ones where Democrats were let down. Other more kind of long shots in Oklahoma, South Dakota, Arizona maybe a little bit, Alaska, again a little bit more of a long shot, but I would say there was a blue ripple in the governor's map because they picked up Michigan, Wisconsin, Minnesota. Actually, I think Minnesota was always a Democratic column. They also picked up the state of Maine. They picked up New Mexico. They won in Colorado. They picked up Kansas, Nevada, even with very popular incumbents. They still won. So blue ripple in the governor's map, blue wave in the House, red ripple in the Senate. So overall, I think it does even out into a blue ripple this round. So thank you guys for watching this video. Comment down suggestions below. New videos I will be doing. I will be comparing my prediction to the final results. In addition, I will also be looking at the polling and why I thought it was very, very bad. And I know some people think that it was good, but especially in some of the Senate races, polling was just very downright bad this election cycle. So those are upcoming videos. Thank you guys for watching this video. No matter who you supported this election, whether you supported the Democrats, the Republicans, whether you hate them both, I'm sorry if your side didn't win, so I'm sorry to Democrats, you didn't win the Senate. Sorry to Republicans, you didn't win the House. So I do give great condolences. And I wish you, whoever you are, good luck for 2020, because that's going to be the next round. So thank you guys for watching this video. Comment down suggestions below, and I'll see you all in the next one.